core work, all sorts of stuff to get yourself better and stay healthy for the next practice.
Go ahead, AP Stedham.
Hey, Will.
Hey, how you doing?
Will, when you're trying to train this year, are you trying to get stronger, get your legs quicker? What are some of the things you're trying to do?
The background you can turn off. Re-ask the question.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Will, when you're trying to train physically, are you trying to get stronger this year? Get your legs quicker?
I'm always trying to get stronger, whether that's upper body and lower body. But, as a kicker, you really don't want to be, obviously the biggest guy on the team. You really want to be more explosive in your legs. So really, like, explosiveness is more what I'm concerned about rather than just pure strength.
Michael?
Yeah, we kind of asked Chris about this a minute ago, but did you notice at what point in the season did you recognize that you hadn't missed a kick, whether it be extra point or field goal? And does that become a pressure? Do you not try to jinx it, or do you believe in jinxes like that?
It was in my head. I knew about it, but, at the end of the day, you're only as good as your next rep. So you have to go out there and execute to the best of your ability. And all that stuff is kind of behind me now. I'm looking forward to the season and, doing what I can do every day to get better.
Steven.
Will, in what ways have Coach David Ballou and Dr. Marrone, how have they helped you progress the most?
They definitely helped me a lot. Dr. Ray was a kicker in college, so he knows a lot about kicking training as well, whether that's like certain muscle groups in your body that need more work. So they've definitely helped out a lot, especially at the specialist group as well, just because, Dr. Ray has a lot of experience in kicking and punting.
Charlie.
Hey, Will, you're going to have some new guys to work with this fall with a new holder and new snapper. Just how those guys look so far in camp?
They've looked great. They've gotten better every single day. And, they're young guys. So, as long as they keep making progress, I've been really proud of them. They've really stepped up, and we've just been giving them confidence. And I think it's going to turn out really well. We have a lot of talented young guys in our room who I think will do a fantastic job this year.
Mike.
Yeah, Will, I think this is the first time we've had a chance to talk to you. So I just wanted to ask about your freshman season. I know it was obviously a little bit frustrating having that injury that didn't seem to go away. Just what was that whole process like for you?
Right. Yeah. It was hard, especially tearing it the first time. And, I thought I was going to be able to come back and play, came back and tore it again. But, the guys in the training room did a fantastic job of, rehabbing me and getting me back. And, thankfully I'm as strong as I've ever been. And, it was really hard, but, you just have to keep pushing through when you have an injury like that.
Tony.
Well, not to bring up any negativity, but it was kind of weird seeing you miss a couple kicks on A-Day. What went into that? And is it almost a good thing to kind of get that out of your system before the start of a real game?
I just had a bad day. I didn't get an opportunity to warm up much. I didn't really think too much about it. I had a great spring. It was probably the only day where I had a couple misses. So all in all, I was really proud of my spring. And, at the end of the day, I really don't think about that performance anymore. It's all in the past, and just got to keep focused on getting better.
We'll end it with Charlie. Last question.
You guys also have a new special teams coordinator in Coach Svoboda. Just what has it been like working with him so far?
He's been awesome. He really knows how to, explain everything to all the guys. And, the thing that he tells us is just owning your routine. Every time you go out on the field, you have a certain routine that you do. And make sure that you do it the same way every time and just own it. So he's done a great job, and, I'm really happy to be coached by him.
Thanks, Will.
You seemed enthusiastic about having a question for Phil. And do you see media in your future after your football career? And has anybody explained to you exactly how much media gets paid?
I work really hard on public speaking and trying to answer questions correctly, interview questions, all sorts of stuff. But I'm not really too sure. I kind of want to go towards the NFL GM route someday, but that's a long ways away. Right now, I'm kind of just focused on getting through this season, trying to progress to the NFL, and then when I get there, I'll get there. But that is something I kind of had in mind, especially initially going to college. So I've had a lot of practice at it.
Nick Kelly.
Hey, Chris. I'm curious, speaking of the NFL, you have an O-line coach who has plenty of experience there. What's maybe the best thing he's taught you so far?
Man, he's got a lot of tools. Like, I think I talked about this in the spring, going way back from when he was playing at Syracuse and coaching for the Saints. But he spent a lot of time with the centers just breaking down the techniques because we had a little bit of flaws in our technique, especially from last year. So being able to break down each step, whether it's run game, pass game, zone blocking, anything, looking at second level, third level defenders, all types of stuff. But he has so many weapons, and we're grateful that he's in the building because we get to utilize those every day against a really good defense.
Charlie Potter.
Hey, Chris. Obviously, you guys have some new guys up front. Just even though it's been 5 days of practice, have you seen that offensive line start to come together?
Yeah, we're able to build a lot of chemistry. You know, Emil was missing a little bit during the spring, but having him back and then being able to have a unit that's constantly growing together, especially with the help of Coach Marrone and all the rest of the guys, it's been really good, and everyone's all bought in. We all trust the process. We trust what Coach Marrone has, Coach O Brien, all the rest of those coaches, and going out there with everybody as a unit, building that chemistry every day against a really good defense has been pretty good for us.
Steven.
Chris, Brian Robinson has waited so long for this moment, and now it's finally kind of his time to be the man. How excited are you guys to see him run this running back room this year?
Yeah, B-Rob's hungry. He's hungry. He's been hungry since he's got here, and, you know, he waited his turn. He did everything the coaches asked him to do, whether it's in the weight room, on the field, off the field. He's been a good leader for the team, and now it's his time. So he's got an opportunity to lead a really good, really deep running back room, and we trust him, and we're ready to see what he does this season.
Mike.
Yeah, Chris, does anybody ever give you grief around the locker room for being a sixth-year guy, kind of the old man? I think the freshmen this year were in 8th grade when you started here.
Jeez, I mean, I already have a gray hair in my beard, so anytime somebody sees it, like, oh, you got some fuzz in your beard, I'm like, no, it's gray hair. But I get called an old man, senior citizen. I get called a lot of names, but I'm kind of used to it at this point.
Katie.
Hey, Chris, kind of bouncing off of Mike's question, and your question to Phil about having full stadiums this year compared to last year, entering your 6th year, you got that because of the COVID year last year. So kind of talk about your journey to this point and how excited you are to get the opportunity to have this extra year.
I've sat behind some really good people since I've been here. I got to learn from people like Bozeman, Ross, Cam, everybody that came before me, even Landon last year. And it was all about the process. That's all we talk about around here. And having a chance to have another year and build more value for myself and make more memories with the team, that's what it was all about. So I had the opportunity, I took it. And then, of course, being able to come back one more year means that we get to play in front of fans again. I'll take that opportunity any chance we get.
Tony.
Chris, Alabama's last 4 starting centers have went on to be permanent team captains. Is that a goal of yours? And what is it like kind of stepping into that shoe, being a leader of the line?
I mean, it's something I think about every now and then, but my goal is just to help us win games. If that comes along with it, then, so be it. But I don't really think about, I want to be a captain at the end of the year. I want this, I want that. Everything's about just winning, because as long as we win as a team, then all the personal accolades will come along. So I just focus on winning pretty much.
Charlie.
Yeah, Chris, you've obviously been through several of these preseason scrimmages. Just what is the significance and importance of this first scrimmage, just in terms of creating an identity and team progress as a whole?
Yeah, it gives the coaches the opportunity to see if we can take the stuff from the practice field into a game-like scenario where the coaches aren't constantly behind us yelling at us. I mean, it's always a little bit easier in practice when you've got the aid of the coaches on the side, but when you get out on the field in the scrimmage, it's just you and the other man, and you have to rely on the techniques that you've had, whether it's in the film room, on practice field, whatever it is. So that first scrimmage is pretty important, especially with the game being right around the corner. They want to see if you can help add value to the team. So we want to approach that just like we would approach a game, and I think that's what we'll do this Saturday.
Steven.
Chris, Coach Saban has spoken about Bill O'Brien's teaching ability, as a coach. How have you seen that so far in fall camp?
Yeah, he's amazing. I always tell people he's kind of like me personality-wise, but he's just you can tell the progression that the quarterbacks have had going forward, like especially the whole offense in general, but specifically about the quarterbacks. All of those guys are growing, whether it's pre-snap, post-snap decisions. You know, he really breaks down everything that we need to do, and then he relies on us to go out to the field and execute, and he holds us accountable for it. But he never skips any steps. He's always on time. He preaches a lot about accountability and taking care of the man next to you. So we're blessed to have him in the building.
Michael.
Yeah, the next guy set to speak with us is Will Reichard. Just wondering, last year, did you guys recognize and notice that he didn't miss a kick at all last year? No extra points, no field goals. He made all of them. Is that something you guys noticed as a team, this streak?
I mean, we didn't notice any missed field goals, so that's always good.
All right.
Okay.
Any last questions for Chris? Okay, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, Chris, kind of piggybacking on that, is that kind of like a no-hitter or a perfect game in baseball? Do you try not to mention that to Will in order to keep that streak going?
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I didn't recognize it was a thing until the end of the season.
Right.
I just we didn't notice any missed ones. I mean, if you ask me, my favorite one was the one against Georgia. That was my favorite. But no, I didn't notice he hadn't missed any field goals till the clock said zeros in the championship game and we got on the bus.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Chris.
You guys have a good one.